Alright guys, here's just a little taste of No Man's Sky. Here I am far, far away in the middle of space. There's a beautiful planet there. I'm going to start by going to the local space station, which there's one in almost every planet. It's pretty far away, even with my boosters, as you can see, at least a few minutes. So I engaged sort of mid-level impulse thrusters, which is like just below warp speed. It's going to shoot me right at the space station, hopefully not too close. It's not on the planet. You can see how close it is to the planet, though. There it is. Asteroids everywhere, especially near planets. Very realistic. Try and get through this asteroid field. There we go. And headed. The space station inside normally look almost exactly the same. On the outside, though, they have amazing designs. And you trade on space stations. You can get jobs on space stations. You buy upgrades on space stations. But most importantly, in terms of the grand scope of the game, by the way, this is Fortet. In the background, an amazing song called Love Cry. I often listen to my own music. Saves whenever you leave your ship. And the teleporter's on one of these two sides. I think it's on this side. And yes, they let you use your rocket boosters inside the station, which is hilarious and great. Nope, wrong side. So there's a couple rooms you can explore. This is the upgrade side here. One's for suits, one's for space stations. Here you can change your appearance. Right here, appearance modifier. You can look like different aliens, have different suits and so forth. And on the other side is where you pick up jobs and get cartography maps and so forth. I'm pretty far out there, so I want to show you my initial base from the first few hours of the game. That's still mostly the base I use. Because of various forms of teleportation, there's really no reason to change it, especially because I'm on a Gaia with almost no predators, if any. Sorry about that. There's almost no predators, if any, on my planet. It's beautiful. It's not toxic. I could walk around without my helmet. They don't let you take it off. You can talk to these little guys. They don't really do anything. They'll teach you a word or two, perhaps. You can give them a gift. Helps with their species. This right here is the terminal, so which is nice. You don't have to actually talk with people to buy and sell stuff. And they offer a good amount of stuff, most of which I have or can get. And as you can see right here in the upper left, I have a lot of units, but nanite cluster is what you use for upgrades. And right now, I don't have a lot. So I'm going to have to start raiding other bases, ships, or just doing a lot of crazy missions to get more nanites to improve my stuff. Now here's the teleporter. Before we teleport, there's 4 tabs here in the sort of inventory menu, each with subtabs. The exosuit is everything that's on my body. So general is, you know, where I have most of my stuff. It has my hazard protection, my jetpack, my oxygen, plus all of the elements, a save beacon, a signal booster, presents for aliens. I mean, this is where you carry everything around with you. So when you're not near your ship or other places where you're storing stuff, it has to be here. There's a separate tab for technology. I need to upgrade my suit because as I add more technology upgrades, I need to be able to have room to fill these in. They go from B to C to A to S, S being the highest. So I have a few A's and S's, but I also have some B's and C's. My translator, my armor, which I would like to upgrade. Again, I need more money, more nanites to do that. Here's my starship, which I have access to because it's right nearby, but once you're more than like 100 meters away, you can't really access it. It's the same thing, has a little bit of storage, but it's mostly technology you install on it. And then there's your multi-tool, which is one with the least amount of space, and you're constantly being offered to buy or just have upgrades to put on it. So this is actually my one that has the most A's and S's, meaning the most elite equipment, because I don't have that much space, and because you can die very quickly in planets, and but it also can take forever for you to mine. And so things like advanced mining, a laser, and a terrain manipulator, you know, to dig into the earth and stuff are must-gets early on. And here's one that says freighter. I'm gonna hold off on the freighter for now, because you don't start the game with that. So that's all my stuff. So I could warp all the way back in my ship, but that would take a ton of fuel. The one unrealistic part of the game is the teleporter brings your personal ship with you where you go, but for gameplay reasons you have to do it. So when you go here, these are all places I've been to. Now, the majority of them, which has the hexagonal orange with the dot in the middle here, are space stations like I'm on right now. Watney Prime, named after Matt Damon's character in The Martian, because I call this the Martian simulator. This symbol here, the little white with the little base on it, that is shows that you have a base. Now, I do have a base. Whoops. I do have one more base, a little bit closer, but it's on a very toxic planet. I don't really need that base, but it's also a ways to take stuff off of it. I don't think anyone's going to mess with it as a backup on the HUC system or whatever the hell that is. So, but you can see here that I can, Watney, where is it? Oh, am I in Watney right now? That's interesting. I thought I was in a far distant, yeah, I'm in Irhu, so why can't I warp to the Watney? I guess the space station is called, called Cade, named after everyone's favorite Destiny character. So if I wanted to go to the Cade sphere right here, it's his weapons factory, that would be the starbase in the same system as Watney Prime, which is my base on the ground. These symbols show that there are missions for you to do there, which I'm avoiding at the moment because I'm doing big scale missions, but also just exploration. So normally I would go right to Watney Prime, the base, but it's a little anticlimactic because you don't really see yourself, you just sort of land there. I think it'll be more interesting to show the approach to the base. So I'm going to go to the sphere and then hopefully get to my Watney Prime base on the ground without too much trouble. There are pirates. So here we go. Try to turn the music down in the background. Now these icons up here that look like they're in the ceiling are just things that are on other planets, and they're telling you that it's in this system but it's on other planets. That of course is my ship, in case you forget, because there are a lot of other ships. That's the one. So here we go. Jump down here. Do a little sprint action. Now there's this weird thing in this game where it only saves when you leave your ship, so you have to sort of go in your ship, jump out, it's not a big deal, and jump back in. It burned me once when I didn't do my restart point. So now I'm on even though the base looks exactly the same, I'm on the other side of the galaxy right now. Alright, so here we go. So here's the planet. I've mapped most of the planets in the system. These are fleets. These fleets with blue are not bad guys, but there are other fleets. I don't know if they belong to players. I don't know if they belong to, here it is. Rastafari is the name of my planet. Oh, the other ships just jumped in. These could belong to other players. These, ooh, lots of ships jumping in. Wow, look at this. Huge fleets. I've never seen that much before. And then you're about to hit asteroid fields and maybe some pirates. So since I don't want to do that, but I don't want to take forever to get to the base, I'm going to put on my impulse engines, but I want to warp here. There we go. Now, when you're using any other slower forms of transportation through space, even your sort of mini boosters, you will crash into asteroids if you're not careful. This takes you through the asteroids. You know, this is a Star Trek, Star Wars thing. You just have to accept when you're in hyperspace or partial hyperspace. That's what happens. So this actually shoots you right to the point above your base. And if you travel on planet, see that little purple dot? If you travel on planet anywhere that's more than like a kilometer or two away, it's much easier and faster to travel into space and then go to where you need to go, like where it's shooting me here right above. And then let me straighten out. I'm already going through the atmosphere. It's nighttime. So I'm putting on the jets, get through the atmosphere. And now that we're through the atmosphere, you want to start slowing down a little bit. Start slowing down, or else you'll go past the base. So I'm gonna land up here, sort of right above the base. It won't let you land in totally weird ways, but as you can see here, I'm sort of sideways on the side of a hill. All right, so here I am. Here's my ship. This purple icon up here, and that green icon. These are all places I've either been to and need to go back to do stuff, or new places I need to check out Maybe there'll be hostiles, maybe there won't. Now this here, you can already see this roof, which I haven't done any cosmetic work on. None of this was here. In fact, the size of the hole is much bigger because I dug into the hole. I decided just sort of randomly, but I thought smartly, to put my base inside a small, you know, crevasse or whatever to help hide it from both, you know, AI players, pirates, and, sorry, the tall grass is a little weird on this planet. But as you can see in the lower left, well, my health has gone down. That's from other encounters, and it's, as you can see, it's 68.2 degrees, almost no toxicity. This is an amazing planet. There's some, you know, there's some, like this plant right here will hurt you, but you can take them down and you get oxygen for your trouble. Up there's some spaceships in the upper left with their green engines. But other than those plants, it's pretty much a Gaia utopia here. This is all me. It looks totally haphazard because it is. You do one of these things at a time. But this roof and then all the buildings down here were not here when I got here. So just to give you a quick tour of the base. This is a large refiner where I can... Usually you start with a small refiner where you can turn one thing into another. So like sodium into sodium nitrate. There's a medium refiner which you could put two elements to turn into a bigger compound. This one, which I haven't even used yet because I don't have the ingredients, or at least I don't have the menu, if you were, for it. Don't have the menu for it. You know, don't have the instructions of what 2 or 3 to use to get something more advanced out of. But I have it there. All of these things can be taken down, deconstructed. This was my first major thing. I hired a guy to run sort of the main base computers. So this guy here is sort of my, you know, major domo, if you will, of the base. Here's the science terminal. Oh, there's the guy. I had to warp him from my ship, which I'm going to show you in a sec, because I also have a science terminal on my ship. He's the one I'm currently doing missions for, but for the first time in the game, they're forcing me to do fighting missions, because there's these little bots called Sentinels that are taking over the world for an unknown evil force. And in order to get some supplies he needs, and just clear my own world of these horrible Sentinels, I need to actually use... Here's the terrain manipulator, which you can shoot into the ground. I don't really want to do here, just to create holes, which is how I even this place out. You can see over here, I had to, for my own safety, I had to cordon off this. This is a giant hole. You can sort of see up here. This is a giant hole in the ground. There's a save beacon, so I can always save my progress here without having to go to the ship. This is storage unit. It holds much less than it looks like. I probably would get rid of it, especially because I have to power it in order to put stuff in it. But for now, I'm leaving it there. Here's my own appearance modifier. As you see, everything says insufficient power. That's what I use to modify my appearance. This is a biofuel reactor. I currently have 2 biofuel reactors. Oh, here's where I'm growing plants. Oh, here's a gut root flower. So something grew there, so that's nice. This here is my science officer. Or no, sorry, this guy is my... Are you my agricultural guy? Yeah, you're my agricultural guy. I don't think he has anything to say to me, though. Here's his little story. Normally these aliens can understand you. Ask about flowers. Right, he's talking about his love of plants, their most inspiring of beings. So to complete his quests... Oh, I have a save point here as well? That's interesting. I don't need 2 save points, so I just pick it up and that goes in my inventory. And so the mission that he has for me right now is to grow these plants. Because most of them don't grow naturally, so we've got a sort of indoor terrarium, or slightly indoor terrarium. This I honestly don't know what it is. The previous base, right? It says it's previous base item cache. I think because I have one more base, that's the one I was referring to. That's there. This is my weapons guy. He also has some missions for me to complete. So, you know, I have mostly the main guys here on the base. I need to even it out. Everything's kind of all over the place. It's hard to move things. It's easier to just destroy them and build them over again. And these red lines are the lines of electricity that currently are not working. And it's very expensive. I have a battery to save some of that energy, which I guess I've used. So I have 2 biofuel reactors, a battery which is empty, The two things that you don't need power for is the base computer, which is slowly decrypting mysterious archives from the past or present or future. I'm not sure. Construction research unit allows you to upgrade the buildings or just offer new things to build, both here and elsewhere. Here's my own teleporter. Of course, to use the teleporter, I need to power the teleporter. And then I can jump to other bases or any of my other bases, of which there's only one other, or the space stations that I visited before. I can go through here. So it just needs some carbon or oxygen to work. So that's normally what I would do from here, so I don't have to fly in hyperspace everywhere. So that's basically my base for now. I did build a solar reactor on the roof, but whoops, sorry about that. There's so much in this game, and inevitably there's going to be some graphic clipping. So it's still 2 hours in real time on my planet before it starts being light, and that helps starts powering. Sorry, excuse me. Before it gets light, and then before it starts to help powering my base. Well, why don't I give another one of these, because I'm starting to get low on power with all my buildings. So what I'm going to do is go to tech, I think. Yes, power and industry. Solar panel. I need gold and metal plating, which I do have, just not on me. So I'll build one of these when I can. I can't right now. But once you generate enough power, you just connect everything via the via these connections here, which just show you how the power is being distributed. So okay, so it's cool. It's a quaint little base. You're thinking, Bizzle, you've been playing this for a super long time. Is this really all you have to, other than a lot of discoveries? Is this all you have to show for yourself? Well, it's not. Because not only can you get... I gotta get up to my ship here. Because not only... Oh, there's an animal. They're all really sweet. I can offer them food. I'm not trying to domesticate them yet. I probably will at some point. But it's not necessary yet. Where did I park my ship? That's awkward. Where did I park my ship? Ah, it's up there. It's on the other side. See, I never park over there. That's what threw me off. That's actually going to be hard to get to. But I'll take you on a little journey here. You see the plants. It's starting to be daylight. Is up. It looks like my solar power is on. Let's see what's going on with it. Dope. Yeah. The only problem with this planet is between the hills and the tall grasses. It actually makes it hard to move this guy around. Alright, so it's generating. It is generating. It's generating. I've never seen it generate before. But it's not generating, it looks like, enough power. So let me see if I can attach... that wire to... this biofuel reactor. That didn't work either. Oh, there it is. There it is. It went on. See, it's gotten blue. At least it's starting to generate. I've never actually done this before. The teleporter probably doesn't have enough power, but it's getting close. But the ship systems are starting to power. As you can see, things are starting to light up. You know, over time, I'll just have to install more solar panels. Alright, so enough of that. Cute little base. This is going to get really big. This is the Minecraft thing. This will get really big eventually. Let me see if I can get up to my ship. I never park. I usually park like near the roof. There's that high grass again. I can't show you it without screwing it up. Right to the left there, above the wooden structure. There we go. There we go. So there's my base. Everything I showed you is under that. There's the solar reactor. I'm going to have more of those soon. Normally I park right over here next to the base. With this particular descent, I ended up here. And, you know, in this game, whenever you're bored, you just need resources. You just take out your mining beam and you just go to town on some plants and rocks. This is the equivalent of grinding bad guys in an RPG. Here you're collecting basic or even complex stuff. Alright, so it's been very cute so far, very quaint. You've seen my base, you've seen the space stations. Well, I knew that you could buy large ships and freighters here. But for some reason, I got into a fight with a lot of pirates. I kicked their asses, and because of that, this guy who I'm about to show you offered me his ship for free, which never happens. See that green in this guy right there? You're like, okay, what is that? It's right above the atmosphere. It looks like the Battlestar Galactica landing on New Caprica. Well, my capital ship, folks, just jumped into the picture. That is actually my capital ship there. Now, of course, it can't come all the way down in the atmosphere, but it is nice because if there are pirates in the area, or you're concerned there are pirates in the area, you can get it very, very close to you. So, first thing we got to do is check our fuel reserves. Our pulse engine is like the mini hyperdrive I was telling you. It has plenty of charge, but we'll charge it up anyways. Launch thruster still at 75%. So let's take off. And you will see the gloriousness that is my capital ship. If I can find it. As big as it is. There it is, behind the clouds. Your capital ship. Normally you want to go straight up out of the atmosphere as quick as possible. There we go. And then turn. And there it is. That's mine, guys. I didn't even have to pay for it. Now I do have to pay for supporting frigates and attack ships and stuff. But I will one day have a fleet of at least 6 or 7 of these that I'm aware of. This is my ship. It's mostly empty. I have a couple crew members. I have a lot of storage space that I'm not using yet. But somehow this capital ship relatively early in the game became mine. And I'm able to put all sorts of stuff in it. Now this is the docking bay. And once you sort of get into the, you know, area of the docking bay, it pulls you in automatically. That's it. This is my capital ship. So there's a little tour of all the stuff I've got so far and all the different possibilities. There's a ton of planets. They look different, but if you look in the bottom right there where it says the Atlas Path, that's sort of the main quest that I keep pursuing because I'm a main quest guy and they don't force you to level up constantly. So thanks for checking that out. And check out my feed at twitch.tv/thebizzle. Take care.